we start them off early. By the time they get 18, they'll be on some more stuff. And so that's my thing now with mine. And if I decide to have some more, man, they coming out off the rip. Hey, what we doing?
Yeah.
As a toddler, say, what you got a plan on selling some suckers or something? What you trying to do?
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
And that's the thing where they say, like, you know better, you do better. And like, you how old were you when you had your first kid?
I was probably 19 or 20.
So 19 to 20. So I just had my first kid at 32, 33. So I'm literally the matured enough when I was 19 and 20. Yeah, I probably would have been in a different type of father than I would now, because the simple fact that I have been able to experience a lot of different things within my life, and I got to live my life. It wasn't where it was like, I have to live for me and somebody else. I got to be selfish for a good amount of time. So at this point in time, it's like being a dad is lit. Like, I get to figure out different little stuff to do and come up with ideas rather than, it's different when you're trying to parent and you're trying to just survive. You're in that survival mode. Like, I'm trying to make sure the bills paid. I'm trying to make sure I got Pampers, make sure my kids got everything they need. Whereas, like, you want to make sure they have their necessities and you're working hard to get what they need. And then as you come up and mature and get older, you starting to give them their wants, not just their needs. And then it's getting to the point where you look back and you like, dang, like you just said, like, I done got them to the point where, they don't even want to eat noodles because they ain't, I ain't had to put them through that. And that's the thing where I be telling my wife, we're like, where does it get to the point where you find that way, like, especially like being well off, how you find that point where your kid, not to make sure your kids are humble enough and well balanced, right? Because a lot of people are balanced because they got to experience different type of lifestyles throughout their life.
Ice and you going crazy. Stocks going up, money going up, stocks going up, money going up, stocks going up, stocks going up, money going up, money going up, stocks going up, money going up, stocks going up, money going up. Teasing you, gotta go and get it, make the money double way. Look, I'm Warren Buffett, John Paulson, blockchains gotta live in house. At the rate I'm going, I done really lost, might have took off and I ain't talking.
Welcome to Take Flight Fraternity Podcast. It's your pilot, Quinn on the mic. I'm with my co-pilot,
RONDON in the building.
There we go, man. All right. So today we got some stuff, Father Day coming up. So we only had to bring this up. So Young Thug, the Rico guy, right? He got charged with Rico. But what we bringing up is Young Thug believes men should not have kids if they broke. What you think about that stuff, Brian?
What do I think about men having kids with no money?
He said they shouldn't even nut. He said they shouldn't be capable of nut. Like they should be like castrated, I guess. I don't know. If you're broke, you shouldn't. Is it on the dude or is it on the chick? What is it? If they having kids,
I go deep with that now. With
go deep, man. Go deep
with the having kids. I want to know your family business. I want to know what your mama like, your daddy like. Because we need babysitters. Yeah, because I know my mom and dad ain't watching nothing.
Yeah.
So I need to know what your mom and dad are like. Do they love kids? Do they, how they are with grandchildren if they already have them? How that person feel about kids too? Because everybody not ready to be a mama. And what her hustle like, first of all, because if we talking about broke dude having kids, I mean, shoot, somebody got to have some hustle.
Yeah.
Or else we raising some kids that's finna go through some strange things. And that's the cycle that really I feel like need to be broke. Like, you shouldn't have kids until both are financially able to provide and do everything that they need to do for them kids. And if not, we'll just keep this same cycle going of raising kids that's impoverished and going without a lot, really, which is pushing them off into a different type of life than what they should really be off into. But some kids take that and go a different route too, but it's just a very low percentage that take it and say, I'm going to be better than what my mama and daddy was or whatever. the other kids take the easy way out. They like, shoot, I ain't got nothing going on over here, so man, homeboy over here say he can do this right here, and I'm gonna jump off in it. So, me personally, I wouldn't advise neither parent to be lacking in trying to have kids. You know, we both should be on top of our game if we plan on having kids in, looking at the grandparents to see, you know, how they are and what they got going on. Because we know daddies don't really raise children too much. It's really kind of like a mother nature job, but you need that daddy there for structure, you know. So that's another thing. Finances always break up relationships, right?
Yeah.
So if mama got it going on and pops, he's still pushing his rap career and ain't making nothing, most than likely she gonna get tired of you dropping mixtapes and ain't dropping no money.
True.
So she gonna go her way, and then here we go again, another split household, you know, and you know, then the mamas get to hating on pops. You look like your ugly ass daddy, and you know they take it out on them kids a lot of times. Probably not meaning to, but some women do. You know, just throwing those slick little words out there. It's a lot of mental abuse, I would say, that kids take that they don't even think that they put up on their kid.
Yeah.
And then mamas feel like they got to be so hard on the boys because the father figuring out there. So, what you crying for? And what you all that right there. So now we kind of really raising kids now, or boys, young men, to no emotion. You raising robots now. So now this dude gotta keep all his feelings inside because mama said I shouldn't do this, or mama said I shouldn't complain about this, or da da da. So now you embarked all those feelings and emotions in, and eventually you just done created a monster. Really, what you done did. But that's some psychiatry stuff that your wife probably could touch bases on. I'm sure.
Yeah. And let me touch bases on what he said. A couple of details. He says you making, pretty much you making people rob, kill, and steal because you running around with no type of career, no nothing.
Yeah.
He goes, and your kids wanting stuff. So that's why right now we see a lot of young kids walking around with guns, robbing, stealing. They don't even have a care because ain't no daddy in the house. And when I was teaching, when I was in education, I was teaching. A lot of kids, when I seen they was disrespectful and couldn't nobody calm them down, no man, no woman, I realized, you cannot have a daddy in the house if you acting like that. Now, you may have a father, but you do not have a father in your house because it's different when you have your father there 100% of the time, always in the house, because there's a different type of standard, right? When you just go in the daddy house for the weekend, or you go in the daddy house on holidays or whatever the arrangements may be, it's a little different from mama house and daddy house. And especially in more impoverished areas, you see these women almost seeing like their kids, especially if they have a boy, they see their kids almost like the man of their life. Like they so torn where it's like they living through their kids, but they son, they be like, I used to see women call their son like, come here, daddy. Like, I'm like, daddy? Like, this is your son? Why you calling him daddy? He 15. Like, he don't need to be called daddy.
Yeah.
So, what you feel about that?
About the daddy talk? Shoot, boy, these women throw around the daddy, zaddy, all that around. That's just our culture, man. That's all it is. You know, that's just the culture. But what I would say, like me coming up lacking, I feel like I messed up with my kids early on though, because now everything that I didn't have growing up, I just gave them.
Yeah.
Without the hustle. So now it's just like in their mind, they feel like things are supposed to be given.
Right.
When they're not. It's not gonna be like that in life. So now I'm doing a reverse thing on them and trying to put that hustle off in there now because shoot, when I came up, man, you had to go do something to get something.
Yeah.
Me, even just simple things that we don't even think about, like pick the kids up from school, what y'all want to eat. I didn't nobody ask me what you want to eat. You going home and
eat whatever at the house, or it's cooked, or what we cooking, or leftovers.
Yeah, that's what you did. But now these kids get picked up, what y'all want. They just get to choose whatever they want. One person want Chick-fil-A, other one want Golden Chick, and you find yourself just doing all that, then I had to just pump the brakes. I'm like, hold on, this ain't right. Because then when I take them to their cousin house and they calling me over there, Well, I don't want to eat no noodles. Well, shit, hell, what you mean you don't want to eat no noodles? It's because they done got spoiled, and that can hurt a child too. So, like I said, with mine now, I'm reversing all that mess. Like, nah, you gonna earn what you want. If you want some extra money for whatever, I don't even wear Jordan, but you gonna want some extra money for them shoes right there. What we gonna do? What you plan on doing?
Yeah.
Besides your chores, what else you plan on doing? So, we just got to put the hustle off in the kids at an early age, so they can, and they'll be cold really. If we start them off early, by the time they get 18, they'll be on some more stuff. And so that's my thing now with mine. And if I decide to have some more, man, they coming out off the rip. Hey, what we doing?
Yeah.
As a toddler, say what you got a plan on selling some suckers or something? What you trying to do?
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
And that's the thing where they say, like, you know better, you do better. And like, you how old were you when you had your first kid?
I was probably 19 or 20.
So 19 to 20. So I just had my first kid at 32, 33. So I'm literally the matured enough. When I was 19 and 20, yeah, I probably would have been a different type of father than I would now, because of the simple fact that I have been able to experience a lot of different things within my life. And I got to live my life. It wasn't where it was like, I had to live for me and somebody else. I got to be selfish for, a good amount of time. So at this point in time, it's like being a dad is lit. Like, I get to figure out different little stuff to do and come up with ideas rather than, it's different when you're trying to parent and you're trying to just survive. You're in that survival mode. Like, I'm trying to make sure the bills paid. I'm trying to make sure I got Pampers, make sure my kids got everything they need. Whereas, like, you want to make sure they have their necessities and you're working hard to get what they need. And then as you come up and mature and get older, you starting to give them their wants, not just their needs. And then it's getting to the point where you look back and you like, dang, like you just said, like, I done got them to the point where, they don't even want to eat noodles because they ain't, I ain't had to put them through that. And that's the thing where I be telling my wife, well, like, where does it get to the point where you find that way, like, especially like being well off, how you find that point where your kid, not to make sure your kids are humble enough and well balanced, right? Because a lot of people are balanced because they got to experience different type of lifestyles throughout their life. But if you've been not having to go through much adversity and have to deal with it, like right now, if my daughter don't want to eat noodles, I'm not. It never had to be a necessity, right? Like, it's never been I got noodles at the house because I just choose to eat them time to time, not all the time, but time to time. But the thing is, it's not like when we grew up, like, I knew it was in the house and that was a meal. Like, you don't eat them noodles, you ain't eating nothing. We done figured out about 10 different ways to eat noodles. When I get to college, we putting together noodles and trying to throw us some. Boy, I ain't had no Chef Boyardee since, not Chef Boyardee, what's that? Hamburger Helper. I ain't had hamburger helper in a long time. When the last time you had hamburger helper, bro?
I had it the other night. Shoot,
I ain't had hamburger helper in a while, bro.
Yeah.
And it's the thing, like when I was in college, man, hamburger helper, boy, we used to mix that thing up about 10 different ways. Now it's like somebody say hamburger helper, I'm like, I mean, I eat it, but you're gonna have to throw a little garlic toast on the side and spice it up with something. Like, you can't just throw no back in the day, it used to be hamburger helper in a piece of bread, right? Now it's like, bro, you're gonna have to garden some cheese on top of that or something. Man, that's just me being fat right now, but that's the thing. But growing up, we had to have different experience. And then when you have your kids, you want the best for them, but you also want them well balanced. You don't want them to be a brat and spoiled and have just expectations that this is the standard, when it's like, you got to understand how to get it out the mud too, even though you don't really need to get it out the mud, right? But the thing is, you don't want to see your kids struggle, but it's like, how do you humble them growing up? Like, when you have all the resources, all the necessities, everything you need to give them, where's that point? And I'm new at being a parent, so I can't say I'm an expert at this. I have worked with a lot of kids and seen some good, humble kids who come from well off, and I be looking at them like, man, I really, really, like, I don't know how you was raised, but you was a good kid. Like, you humble, you don't have big expectations, but you stay in $1 million house. So that's something where I just kind of think about.
just think outside the box, man. Like my kids, granted, we got together one year and they put together the idea where they was gonna feed the homeless. So they don't necessarily have to go through the struggle, but say, man, this could be you. You know, this can be you on this other end over here. If you don't do things that you need to do to stay accomplished, you know. I got another plan like where like the kids I pick my kids up from school from time to time, and I look at some of the kids' shoes and I'm like, dang, boy, my kid be spoiled. They want to get whatever kind of shoe they want. You know, they feel like, and I'm looking at these kids' shoes falling off their feet and all that. So my thing be like, uh, Christmas time and all that. I'd rather give back to these kids here, just surprise them. Like, have my kids go find them, man, what size shoe that dude there wear, or what size shoe she wear, and just buy them shoes, you know, top brand shoes for, because I don't want to give money because you don't know what the situation is in a household. So if I go give their parents some money, you got some parents like, man, I don't need nothing from you. If I just give these kids these shoes, you ain't giving that back.
Yeah.
They gonna put that on their feet and be happy. So you know, even my kids have a cousin. They uncle is in jail. Every time I see they cousin, here, man, put some money in your pocket because that's what a father figure is supposed to do. You know, like say, man, your dad ain't here, so when I see you, I'm gonna look out for you. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she's selfish. She always. Well, you gave him junior money. Why you ain't give me no money? What I'm giving you some money for? What have you done? But it just, you know, just showing to be appreciative of things now than what they normally been.
Yeah, so I feel you on that, and that's something where, you know, I try to understand. But the thing is with poverty is when a lot of times in poverty, single parent households and people are impoverished. And it's just mama trying to figure it out, and it's that survival mode. And now you have these kids, how you saying, is trying to, like, they want everything. They want what they see other people have. Like you say, your son has this or somebody else have that. And when they're growing up continuously wanting and never getting, it gets to that point where I'm going to take.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then now you creating this cycle, right? Now you creating this cycle because you have mom working hard, maybe ain't there all the time because she's trying to make sure her kids have food on the table, have a roof over her head, and she might be working 2 jobs or she may be working evenings or whatever the best shift, right? And she can't afford to, like, be there all the time. So when they get to a certain age, they're at the house by themselves. I know when I grew up, my mom worked 2 jobs, and I was at the house by myself a lot from, like, 12 years old, growing all the way up to an adult. And I got to have a lot of freedom of doing what I want. But if I was a roguish kid, I would have got into a lot of mischief. But I knew better than doing that. And knowing the repercussions, I kind of like, and I was using a lot of stuff that was going on for motivation, like pushing me to do more, be better. But a lot of people, like we always say, use that as a crutch.
Yeah.
They use that as an opportunity. Man, bro, we got to come up, and that's not fair to people who work hard for you to go take stuff from other things, because a lot of things, it is a cycle. It is a cycle from where a man in the household, my belief, and it can't be everybody else's belief, and you know, should be running the household. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, he should lead his home, right? And at church, I don't know how many of y'all believers or whatnot, but when I went to church this past weekend, they was talking about man should take care of the house and the kids, and the husband or the woman should assist him. It shouldn't be just all on the woman. And a lot of times that's what people say, oh, the woman supposed to be there nurturing and taking care. It really supposed to be the man should be raising the kids, and the woman should be assisting them. Women should, basically that's how they say it, like the man should be raising the kids and leading his family. So if you raising your kids, it's almost like you think about it football-wise, you the offensive coordinator, right? Mm-hmm. So your quarterback shouldn't come in and call a different play that you calling. That's how they pretty much break it down. So if you are the offensive coordinator and you see, you know, the higher power as the head coach or whatnot, you should be leading to the direction of the belief of what the head coach is telling you, right? And leading your team. So if you need assistance, you should have assistance, but you shouldn't allow them to just take that over. Basically, it was kind of broken down to me just to put in simplistic terms. So a lot of times there's no man in the house.
Yeah.
Or if it is a man in the house, he ain't never there. He's working or doing other stuff.
He providing.
But the thing is, if he's raising, just because you provide don't mean you don't have to raise your kids, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be telling them like, hey, like this is what we eat, not, hey, I'm providing, you don't have no say so what's going in the house. Like you should still dictate what's going on for the most part. You should set the standard, I guess you could say. So that's the thing of setting the standard. I think a lot of kids, young adults, need a male figure, a positive male figure in their life. And when you don't have that male figure in your life at least 50%, 60% of the time, that's when you see a lot of these broken homes or these, this kind of like a cycle, continuous, cycle of poverty, a cycle of bad decisions, things like that. Because I have friends that are successful, but I look at them and be like, if you didn't have a dad in the house, you wouldn't be where you at right now. You'd probably be in jail. You'd probably be making it. And a lot of times I'll be looking at them and I can tell because it's like they're more like they do dumb stuff, but they'll cap their limitations because they know like, yeah, at a point in time, Pops used to get on my ass about this.
I don't know how I feel about that. I do feel like a male figure is important in a household, but that woman is, to me, the most powerful thing in the household. Like she's that nurturer and that reasoning. So she can give.
Yes, I agree with nurturing and reasoning, but overall leading.
She's kind of a balance though. Like a male is kind of one way. Like I can count on one hand the many times my daddy told me he loved me. I tell my kids that every time I see them, every time they with me, every time they leave, hey, I love you. One hand I can count many times my daddy told me that, but a woman, she gonna whoop your ass and then come back in on some slick stuff. What y'all want for dinner tonight? Y'all good? Da, da, da. So it's like she gonna give that structure, but she gonna come back with the balance and show I did it because I love you.
Yeah.
That man gonna whoop your ass and go to his room and go to bed, get ready for work in the morning. Damn, Daddy, you just gonna shit. That's it.
That's not in all cases though.
Man, some hard fathers out there, especially them older. Go back to them old with Pawpaw and them. Pawpaw ain't finna hug you good night after he done whooped you. Man, you probably won't even eat that night. Yeah, I'm just saying. So, to me, like I said, the woman is always like, even if you go back into the ancient kingdoms, bro, like a lot of kings got a lot of they reasoning and knowledge and wisdom from their queen. Their queen was the ones that saw through the BS and was like, "Nah, you should go this route."
The king still led. The queens didn't lead.
That's because he did. But we got to go back.
Because that's what I'm saying.
That's just how it was pushed. But the man is the one that got to do da-da-da-da. He's just a force. But the one with the knowledge and all that was that queen sitting behind there breaking apart the plate.
And I'm going to tell you straight like this. When I was young, I didn't think about it, but I think mentally, women are way smarter than men. They think way different than we do. We barbarians. We like hammer and nail, bam, bam, bam. Yeah. Women like, okay, Lord, let's figure out a different way, bro. Yeah. Like, don't just keep slamming stuff and thinking it's gonna fit. Like, let's sit down and plan it. Like, women are very logical, and I agree with that, But the main thing, what I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of times, like, women are playing two roles. And a lot of times that leading role, a lot of times they don't, if they trying to already be the provider, right? They trying to be the nurturer, disciplinarian, supporter, all that. Something kind of comes to, not all cases, right? But in certain cases, sometimes that doesn't always transition to your kids being successful, and then you tend to have those kids where they have things where you start to see people robbing, stealing, killing, because they don't have that disciplinarian. Like, especially boys. Boys need to have a man in the house to like discipline them at a certain age. At a certain age, a young boy will get disrespectful what they want.
Yeah.
Like if they upset, they will get disrespectful.
Yeah, they ain't
but with their daddy,
yeah,
boy, you're not getting disrespect with your daddy.
You're gonna have to tussle.
As a grown man, these people ain't gonna get disrespectful with their daddy. Like they have to literally hate their daddy to get disrespectful. But if they respect them, nah, they not. And that's the thing where I just feel like a lot of times if it is a man like that in the household, or if a dude do have kids like Young Thug, we saying, it is that it can transition a lot of the times. And I done seen it in poverty. If this happens in poverty, it can transition into a domino effect.
For sure.
And it's like one decision transitions to a domino effect that can affect generations. Mm-hmm. Like not just your kids, but your kids' kids.
Yeah.
And now they wondering like why we growing up struggling. Because this is the thing, man, and especially in the minority community. I know we talk a lot about financial literacy in the minority community, but this is the thing. Why we look around and there's not a lot of affluent people look like us? Why we look around and we go to the hood and the most roughest areas and we see a lot of minorities in these areas? Like you don't see a lot of white people, Asians in the street in the hood. You see Hispanics and black people. And a lot of times whenever you see, even when whenever you break down, we used to always break down data in education. Yeah. The lowest scores are Hispanics and black people.
Well,
and African Americans.
I'm going to tell you something I thought about, and I went over, broke down a long time ago. Sex should probably be on the boundaries of what they did in slavery.
How did that work? Break that down too.
By breeding. They didn't go get wimpy dude over here that some poor man barely can lift something and put him with this woman. They wanted to raise a bunch of big, strong
mandingos.
Exactly. To get the job done.
Yeah.
Now during sex, it's just, he look good, she look good. Or it might not even be that. It might just be a little fling. Hey, I'm in and out. But you creating an after effect with that. So I feel like it should be on the borderline of breeding. Like, what kind of hustler are you? How do you feel about family? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about finances? How do you feel about this? In the same way with the woman looking at the man, well, like, what kind of provider are you? What's your long-term goals? What's your short-term goals? You know what I'm saying? What was your father like? What was your mother like? And once you put all that together and create this child, you're creating a super hustler.
Yeah.
Or a super soldier around her. Like, instead of just a fling, like just, hey, man, met at the club, you got good conversation. Well, damn, you finna mate with a person that just got good conversation, so now you finna create a swindler.
All of a sudden, 3 months later, she crazy. I can't stand her.
Yeah, because you didn't get to know her.
Bro, she lying. I think she's somebody else, baby. You ain't claiming your kid. Now you on child support because it is your kid. She got animosity against you. Now she's a broken baby mama. Ain't no other man can talk to her. It happens to her again. Now it's everybody messed up, and it's a domino effect. But you're right. Like I was telling, like you were saying, like you want to understand. Like you should have tangibles that you want. Like you shouldn't go to somebody and be like, talk to them and be like, what you do? You got a job? Nah. You got any kids? Yeah, I got about 4. What they? I don't know. I got 2 baby mamas out there, but you know they there. And you still go out to eat with them.
Yeah, you still
no,
like you gonna change them.
Yeah, you got a call? Nah, but shit. Think about baby boy, Jody. That's Jody right there. A lot of these women like Jody. They like them with Jody. He appealing. He got the gift of the gab. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He probably put it down on her. And he taking your car, dropping you off at work, going to go see his other baby mama.
I never understood.
And then going to his mama house after that, and complaining about what his mama doing at the house.
Yeah, because she done found somebody.
Because she done found somebody. You out here playing around with your baby mamas and stuck in the little triangle. And you riding he riding a bicycle. Yeah. Riding a bicycle out there with his homeboys think it's all good because he's staying with his mama too. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, that's what the cycle of poverty happens. Because think about what's going on. You got a man that don't have no ambition. He just hanging out with his partner. Then you got, and he want to live in the hood. Then you got a woman that's working hard, trying to do right. Yeah. Got a car, got her own spot, got her stuff together.
But you holding her back.
You holding her back. Yeah. And a lot of times these women, they just be so in love with these men, and it's like they'll sit there and take it for a long time.
Just to have that man in the house, or just to say I got somebody. but like I said, that's just it's a domino effect. You creating babies and babies, and I ain't never seen so many men that love to sit up under a woman. Like I could never do it. I got to have my own paper coming. I can't depend on no woman to do nothing for me but even the cook. I feel like I can not cook any woman out here, to be honest.
You right, and as I got older, I was like, but when I was younger, boy, well, let a woman say she gonna take me out. Yeah, you're right.
That's cool, but I'm saying just living up on the
not living up, but boy, we used to go out to eat, and now they'd be like, well, we gonna do this, do that. I'll pay for the tip. Or we go out and go to the movies, and this is something that's crazy. Cause I never bought no popcorn for a woman. I think it was like 2 chicks I ever bought popcorn for.
Damn.
And I was just like, I ain't buying no expensive popcorn. You gonna have to buy it. I'll eat your popcorn, but hey. But it's crazy. But that's when you young and having a different mentality, when you're not mature, right? As you get older and mature, now I'm just like, as I started dating, as I was an adult, I was like, you know what? That's not the way to do it. I would do it the right way this time.
Sure.
And as I got older, yes, I started paying for dates. I started being more, a gentleman and doing things like that. But the thing is, we got to understand is to make sure that, try to break that cycle of poverty, we have to start setting some foundations. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're not setting these foundations, it's going to continue to happen. Like everybody's tend to, you're going to have a kid, father not there, kid trying to, and then a lot of times people don't want to get married because they don't see no successful relationship at home.
For sure.
Like my dad ain't never been there. I ain't never had nobody, seen nobody married, successful marriage, and they never want to get married. But they sure will be in a relationship about 15, 20 years, have a whole family living together, ain't never want to get married. I'm like, bro, what's the difference? What's the difference? Why you can't get married? If you've been with this chick for about 9 years and y'all got 2 kids, y'all got a house note, y'all got a mortgage together, but you believe that marriage ain't gonna work.
Well, they feel like they already married. They feel like what's a certificate? Some people are against marriage. They just like what's a piece of paper that's bonding us together. And then we see so many wrong things go on with the marriages when somebody get married, and or if the successful ones, we done got married and I'm the one that hustled up all this money, but she get to leave with damn near everything. That shit, that'll scare me off from getting married. That's one reason why I said before I hit my peak of successfulness, I want to already be with whoever I'm going to be with. I don't want to just meet somebody once I done got there, and I don't know if this is genuine or not. Are you with me for who I am, what I got? Just one of those things.
Hey, women out there, go ahead and shoot your shot if you looking for Ron, man. He said when we blow up, you know what I'm saying? When we sitting there, they got us on the Breakfast Club and don't try to shoot your shot then. Ron gonna be like, hey man, I ain't know you then, so
ride that way.
So make sure y'all shoot y'all shot if that's what y'all looking for. But we try to just talk about it. It's Father's Day coming, pretty much Father's Day weekend, and we just want to share that like men should be appreciated if you're around with your kids. If you don't, I don't understand how people don't even go take care of their kids.
I never understood it either, and they get prayed. Man, people respect money, bro. That's just where we at in the world right now. Like, don't nothing else matter but money. If you got money and you got 5 kids over there that you don't take care of, your partner know it, he ain't finna say nothing. Man, he a real nigga. How he a real nigga?
You right, how?
How is he a real nigga? Because he getting money? But that's what people are bought off with that. Man, I get so mad even thinking about it because I done talked to a few women that I know they baby daddy got money. I know he getting to a bag.
Yeah.
But you asking me for something. Man, make this dude her do, you know what I'm saying? But in the other people's eyes, man, he the realest nigga around her. He one of the ones. Shit, he one of the that's a failed father figure right there.
Yeah.
And then her stepdaddy come along, you getting all the hell back from the stepkids because, shit, you ain't my daddy. Man, I'm taking care of you.
But your daddy ain't even around. You right. You totally right. And I don't understand that. And this is the thing. Like, it's one thing. I understand there's some difficult women out there, right? Like, I understand it. but still make an effort to try to see your kids the most as you can. And then besides that, it's like a lot of these guys only see kids when it's convenient to them. Like, I know it's some of these kids, as they get older, they're going to have animosity against these men because it's like there's events, there's things happening where they seeing daddies around. And they daddy ain't showing up.
Yeah.
But they daddy come pick them up around Christmas and give them a present.
The holidays.
And don't let daddy have a whole nother family. Yeah. That gives them a whole nother animosity. If mama over here and you got a family and daddy got a family, you doing Christmas with your family and they living good and you pick them up for New Year's.
They got one gift for them. Yeah. Your immediate family got toys there, and that hurt the kids too. You know.
So it's a broad topic, and the thing is, man, we want to make sure these men do better, man. Be responsible, and man, this is my second Father's Day, being a father. I could not imagine being away. Like, if I go away for a weekend, I'm like FaceTiming baby girl, and it's like, man, I couldn't imagine just not being around every month or being away for a month and just not having a conversation with my kids. So
I'm gonna let you in on a secret, boy. Them daughters, they one of the ones, man. They gonna cling to their dad. Like, mine gonna call me if I don't answer the phone. She gonna Snapchat me. If that don't work, she trying to get at me one way or the other. Where you at? They feel like they your woman at the end of the day. Them daughters, they feel like, where you at, Dad? Like, pick up this phone and say, hello, how you doing? My daughter first, where you at? Like, damn, I'm checking in with you now? I thought I was your daddy. But they just, them daughters, sure, if I could, I'd go have 5, 6 more daughters, man, because they going to take care of it.
Hey, man, my baby girl only like 18 months, but she get mad at my wife if she get too close to me. She'll push her back, and she 18 months and be mad. I'm talking about mad. But, yeah, man, them daughters are special, man. Them sons are a blessing, too. Yeah. But, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Thanks.
Appreciate everybody tapping in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Happy Father's Day. Till next time, let's take flight.
Already.